Hello, welcome to my channel if you're for the first time. Welcome back if you've been following. Sorry, we're just using my phone today. Some days you gotta do that. Yeah, so last day of January. So we're gonna do a January wrap up. As always, I love to do that in case you missed a video. We read a lot. I'm surprised how much I've been able to read with conferences and being back at work, but we did it. I would like to read more, so we're gonna make it. I've been making it a priority, but so let's go through all the books this month. I read Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the fourth book in the Lunar Chronicles. I did post a video on the Lunar Chronicles. This was the first series I decided to read because I love this series. So this is the fourth and final book of the series, kind of. But basically, Winter, you kind of know this is like sci-fi fantasy version of the fairy tales. So Winter is Snow White. So yeah, Winter is admired by the lunar people for her grace and kindness, and despite the scars that mar her face, her beauty is said to be even more breathtaking than that of her stepmother, Queen Levana. Winter despises her stepmother, knows Levana won't approve of her feelings of her childhood friend, the handsome pale scar Jacqueline, but Winter isn't as weak as Levana believes her to be, and she's been undermining her stepmother's wish for years. Together with the cyborg mechanic Cinder and her allies, Winter might even have the power to launch a revolution, and a war that's been raging for far too long. So that is the final book. Basically, yeah, it goes Cinder, Scarlet Crest, then Winter is a wrap-up of the main series. And again, with these wrap-ups, I don't tell you how I'm feeling about the book or give ratings. I want you to go watch the videos where I talk more in depth. I just kind of tell you what the book is about. The next two are also part of the Lunar Chronicles, but they're like stories that are not the main story, but they just give you extra. So Stars Above, this is a collection of short stories. So you have The Keeper, which is the story about Scarlet's grandma and how she took care of Cinder for a few years. Glitches, that is the story of a little cyborg that Cinder had. The Queen's Army, that is Wolf's story and his brother Ran, how they ended up in the Queen's Army. Carswell Guide to Being Lucky is kind of Carswell's story. You get a little bit of his backstory. After Sunshine Passes By, that is Rapunzel's, sorry, not Rapunzel. Rapunzel's a fairy tale, but Crest's story and how she ended up on the satellite. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything. The Princess and the Guard, that's Winter's story. No. Yes, sorry. That is Winter's story and Jacqueline. I think, am I telling you guys wrong? God, I should check before I just say things. But I just say things. Yep, Winter and Jacqueline. So I'm mixing up the other one and you'll see why. The little android. It's kind of, I want to say Nico story. It's a story about an android. The mechanic, that's kind of, we kind of know that story. It's how Cinder and Kai met. You hear about it in Cinder, but this is told from Kai's perspective. And then something old, something new. I'm just going to say one of the couples, it's their wedding. But I'm not going to tell you which couple, so you have to go read it. The last one, Ferris, the Lunar Chronicles. Basically, Levana's story. It says it right there in the title. This is Levana's story. Let's go read it. They're all good. I wasn't sure if I was going to read the last two because it wasn't part of the main story, but I ended up loving them. Guys, read the Lunar Chronicles, please, especially if you're fantasy, sci-fi fan. Go read. My return to the Walter Boys. I read the first one last year, My Life with the Walter Boys. I'd heard talk about it. Before I was a salary teacher, I was just hourly as I was getting my license, and so people were kind of talking about the show, so I knew a little bit about it. I knew it was one of those like Team Edward, Team Jacob, were you Team Cole or Team Alex? But yeah, this is the second book in the series. I read the first one. It says, after summer New York, Jackie Howard returns to the Walters Ranch. She needs space and got it, but she doesn't know where things stand with her and Cole Walter after that goodbye kiss. Over the summer, she stopped texting him. She never stopped thinking about him. Still, Cole living in town to work at Tony's garage. Before he heads off to college, Jackie thinks it'll be easy to avoid him, only to find when she sees him face to face at last, it's impossible to resist him. Things are getting complicated. He's the boy she can't get off her mind, and the Walters have become the family she loves and needs. How can Jackie move forward when she's afraid of taking the next step? So again, I'm not going to give ratings or share my opinions, except that I enjoyed it. So go watch that video. The next one. Last year, I ended up buying this series thinking it was a different genre, and I read it. This is like a Happily Ever After, a companion to the Selection series. So, I've talked about it. Go watch the Selection series video. I'm not going to go into it, but there are 5 of those books. And then this is, again, a compilation of short stories. So the Queen, this is Maxon's mother. You kind of get her story on her selection with Maxon's father. The Prince, that's kind of Maxon. The guard, that is, I forget his name. Avery is the last name, I think. The favorite, I cannot remember her name. Oh, no, that's Mallory, America's best friend. It's called The Favorite because she was the favorite to win. Everyone wanted her, Maxon to choose her. Scenes from Celeste, so there's 3 different scenes. The maid, that's Lucy's story. After the one that gives you a brief look into America Maxon's life, and Where Are They Now, it just kind of goes through each of the girls of the Selection series and tells you what their life was like after the selection. And then a sneak peek at The Crown, which is the last book in the series. So, honestly, with both this one and the Lunar Chronicles extra books, I would read the series first. So read Cinder, Scarlet, Crest, Winter, and then the extras. Read all the Selection series and then read this. It just adds more to it. Okay, guys, I'm so excited about these next 2. I had to read this. This video, I did do a video on Happily Ever After. I think that was last week. I go into depth. So, go look at my ratings. These next 2, the video is coming up. So, yeah. Wait for that. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I read Hunger Games. It's been a long time. So I'm stubborn and don't read things when they're popular. So Hunger Games is very popular when I was like a senior in high school, like Mockingjay. Everyone was on the waiting list because our library is getting it. So fast forward 2 years in college, a year and a half, I served a mission for my church for 18 months. And then I came back and I was like, no, you got to read it. And then I fell in love with it. So that was about 2015, I think I read those. So it's been a long time. But I loved it. I watched the movies every so often. And so I decided to read these. As you guys know, this is President Snow story, the 10th Hunger Games. So that's kind of how he becomes. And dang, I just gotta say, you'll get my thoughts in the videos to come. But know that those 2 videos are coming up. And then, of course, to read with it, Sunrise on the Reaping. This is the 50th Hunger Games with Haymitch. This is his Hunger Games. Go read them. My older brother and I have decided Finnick's story needs to be an F, so somehow Suzanne Collins sees this. We want Finnick's story. And then all of them. Just all the people. I mean, you get a little bit of Beetie's story in Haymitch's, but just all of them who are in the 75th Hunger Games with Katniss and Peeta. We should just go through all of them. But especially Finnick's. And you have to give us a little bit about his story after, because how he hasn't dealt with anything as common as money in years. Like, anyway, here are my thoughts on these. I think this video is next week. I got a cool surprise for you with that video, so stay tuned. I'm excited to talk about those. Next one I read, Ride the River. This is, I don't even know what number book I'm at with the Sackett series. I have a lot left. There's like 10 to 11 books I have to read, so I decided that I'm going to read these slowly. But no, this is Echo Sackett's story, and I'll go into more detail when I get all the Sacketts read. But basically, she inherits some money, and it's stolen, and it becomes a thing. So, know that in these wrap-ups, you'll probably see a few of those books sprinkled here and there. Then, guys, this is not the last one. I realized I read the book club book. I cannot remember the name or who it's by. It is out of my reach downstairs in the basement, and I don't feel like getting it. So, it's about a horse, and these guys come. The horse is on a ranch, it's owned by these people, and they want to put it in a movie, and they decide to do it. And then, anyway, they find another horse, and it's a great story. I will look it up and remember it and do a short on how I feel about it. I think I'll start doing that shorts on the book club books, because it's just fun. Or maybe you'll just sporadically get book club books. Because, yeah, my extended family does a book club. They're usually for younger children, because the younger children get to choose. But it's been really fun. I've read some books that I've never read before, and some that I have. So I read that one. Last but not least, When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I want to totally see the movie, but this is, and the main character, Amelia Rose, loves Audrey Hepburn, and she watched her movie Roman Holiday, and so When in Rome is her finally living out her own Roman holiday, where apparently in Roman Holiday, Audrey Hepburn plays a princess who takes off to Italy because she needs a break, and so Amelia Rose is this pop star who needs a break and takes off to the nearest Rome, because she's like, oh, I'm about to go on tour, I don't have time to go all the way to Rome. So she goes to Rome, Kentucky. Now I want to go to Rome, Kentucky. But yeah, I'm in the middle of reading this series. This is, yeah, Amelia and Noah Walker story. It looks like there's 4 of them. I just purchased the 4th one. I only had purchased the 3 because at the time when I bought them early last year, I was thinking of maybe doing these for Valentine's last year, but I didn't. So I guess it works. Tomorrow's literally February, so I'll still get to read them for Valentine's. It took me a year, but I ordered the 4th one. It looks like it's going to go through all the Walker siblings, so I'm excited to know that that series is coming. This is a new series I hadn't started, but I own the books. So, yeah, this year we're just kind of either finishing series or starting new ones. So, know that this When in Rome series, I'm reading the second one. I'm going to go read the second one. I'm going to start that. So, stay tuned for that video. And, guys, that's it. That is a lot of books. I'm proud of myself. Like, I don't know if I've ever, it helped that, like, the beginning of January I had off. And then I had President's Day off. Not President's Day, I always do that. MLK. So it's helped, and I've been really making reading a priority. I feel like I got it back. I was getting a little burnout last year and not really wanting to read, but this year I've got it back. So thank you for watching this and listening. Go check out those videos, and now you know a few videos that will be coming up. So I'm excited, and if you like this, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to share it, if especially anyone who likes any of these books. If you're new, hit that subscribe and like button. So I was getting more just sitting there. Hit that subscribe notification button so you don't miss a video. And I'd love to hear your comments on any of those books or any other comments you have. And we'll see you next time. Bye.